Give me your wallet. It's white boy summer! What's up, fellas? It's me, Musclepilled, your favorite silly goose. And after the Buffman video, I decided, you know what? A lot of you guys really like this commentary style, so I figured I'd roll with it. For those of you who don't know me, I like lifting weights, wearing a knight's helmet, and saying shit that'll put me on a watch list on Instagram. A lot of you guys really enjoyed this commentary style and wanted to see more. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to be a fucking drama YouTuber. Instead of a video about two niche internet micro-celebrities beefing, how about I talk about two hard dudes that like to rob banks? I'm talking about the 1997 North Hollywood Shootout. Those two hard dudes were Larry Phillips and Emil Matasareanu. February 28th, 1997 at 9:16 a.m. Armed with body armor and automatic rifles, Emil and Larry stepped into the North Hollywood Bank of America. Little did those silly geese know that LAPD was ready for them. So after backup arrived and the bank was surrounded, Emil and Larry decided to say fuck it and go sicko mode, resulting in a 44-minute long shootout with over 2,000 rounds of ammunition being expelled by both sides. 2 deaths and 20 injuries. Just two pissed off bank robbers just fucking laying waste for 44 minutes. Part of the reason I chose this topic for the first video was because of how fucking based and relatable it is. Just schizophrenic things. So Emil and Larry actually met for the very first time at the Gold's Beach on Venice, the same place Arnold used to train at. Literally me for real. After kindling their friendship and discovering they both have hobbies of crochet, cooking, and robbery, the duo decided to rob their first armored truck in July of 1993. Went pretty well for them. They got their money and they got away with it. Yeah, sort of. Because in October of 93, they actually got pulled over for speeding. Pretty mild. They probably got away with that too, right? Sort of. After getting pulled over for speeding, police decided to search their vehicle. And obviously, it was a pretty inconspicuous search. There was only 2 rifles, 2 handguns, 1,600 rounds of 7.62, 1,200 rounds of 9mm and 45 ACP, police scanners, body armor, fake California license plate, and some IEDs. And they definitely went away for a long time, right? I mean, this was 1993, so certainly it was a couple years before they got out, and that's why this bank robbery didn't happen until 97, right? They actually only served 100 days for this. 100 days would probably be a lot more reasonable if it was everything minus the improvised explosive devices. Unless you live in Afghanistan, that's probably not typical for you to carry in your trunk. So after serving 100 days, they got out, and they were completely reformed men, changed. Larry became a lawyer, and Emil started volunteering at the local homeless shelters. I'm just kidding, that shit didn't matter. 100 days, too easy! Too easy! They went right back to their typical shenanigans. In 1995, they robbed another armored truck. This time, actually killing a guard for the first time and wounding another. They gave it about a year and decided to upgrade in 96, where they robbed 2 Bank of Americas, netting them both a nice crisp $1.5 million. But obviously, these guys are on their Sigma grind set. Never back down! Never give up!
Never back down!
So on February 28th of 97, they decided to go for their 3rd Bank of America. And you know, when within a couple years time frame, there have been several armored truck robberies and 2 Bank of Americas got robbed, the bigwigs at Bank of America probably were like, okay, maybe we should watch out for this. So they were prepared. Emil and Larry showed up to the Bank of America in North Hollywood with an HK-91, 3 Norinco Type 56s, an XM15 E2S dissipator, which I actually happen to have a replica of. I call it the cum shot, because it looked like a dick and balls. By the way, that drum mag is absolutely terrible. But they had drum mags for all of these rifles, as well as 3,300 rounds of ammunition. Larry actually wore a full suit, including his legs, of level 3A body armor, while Emil only wore a 3A vest. That's a very, very important detail here, because back in 1997, the police weren't issued patrol rifles. They typically only carried 9mm handguns and 38 special revolvers. Guess what doesn't penetrate level 3A armor? 9mm and 38 special revolvers. So right off the bat, the police are at a disadvantage. After Larry and Emil successfully stole the cash from Bank of America, turns out that money was laced with blue dye bombs. Kind of like when I go to buy fentanyl and it's laced with weed. What the freak, dude? So as you can imagine, they were probably pretty pissed off when they opened those money bags, and it looked like the Blue Man Group came all over it. Then they saw that the LAPD had surrounded the bank, so they just started blasting.
Anyway, I started blasting.
Right off the bat, they injured several officers, and the police quickly realized that they could not penetrate their body armor, so they raided a local pawn shop to upgrade their firepower a little bit. So Emil ends up receiving 2 gunshot wounds. He freaks out and hops in the getaway car. So the two actually use the getaway car initially as moving cover. Emil slowly moves the car while Larry walks alongside and fires at police. Of course, the car's getting lit up, Larry's getting lit up. This isn't working out too well for him. Larry ends up getting hit a couple times and decides to rage quit life. Emil, seeing his buddy bite the dust, decides to try to drive away. But again, that doesn't end too well for him. He gets absolutely lit up. Police turn that car into Swiss cheese, so Emil gets out and actually tries to carjack somebody else's vehicle to get away. But the guy just runs away with his car keys, so he's just kind of stuck there. Around this time, I believe SWAT showed up and they start evacuating the wounded. Emil just takes cover on the other side of the car and police pull right up next to him. And for another couple minutes, within close proximity, they're firing at each other relentlessly. Emil takes a couple rounds in his armor before police realize they can just go prone and look underneath the vehicles and shoot at his little concrete grippers. The piggies. At this point, Emil just gives up. And I don't blame him, because if I started getting my fucking toes blown off out of nowhere, I would probably give up too. So he surrenders and police move in to make the arrest. During this whole exchange, Emil took roughly 29 rounds. So as you can imagine, he's bleeding pretty profusely as they're arresting him. Unfortunately for him, it was believed that there was a third suspect running around, so EMS wasn't actually able to come get him. So the dude bled out while they were arresting him. Remember when I said there was 2 deaths? Yeah, not a single police officer died. Emil and Larry were actually the only 2 deaths for the entire 44 minutes, but there was 20 injured. I believe 18 police officers and 2 civilians. Shut up, bitch. This whole event completely changed police response, police equipment, and I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, directly influenced California gun laws. Boo! Emil and Larry just having to ruin it for the fucking rest of us. In total, over 2,000 rounds fired, 20 injuries, 2 deaths, over a 44-minute period of time. God, they were absolutely fucking dripped out though. Let's be honest. Like, if I was gonna rob a bank, I would want to look like these guys. With that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what topics you would like me to talk about next, because I really plan on doing these a lot more. I'm aiming for 1 video a week, maybe a video every 2 weeks, so you guys making suggestions would really help out. If you want to support the channel, you can go to musclepilled.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt as well. All of it really helps, and I try to come out with new designs every month. But until the next one, I need to go steal some catalytic converters, so make sure to check out the next video.